When we think of Qin Shi Huang, we usually remember him as the first emperor of a unified China. He was the man who destroyed the 6 rival states, created a centralized empire, standardized writing currency weights, measures, and built the foundation of imperial China for the next 2,000 years. But when he first became king of Qin, he was not yet that terrifying ruler. He was only 13 years old, and at that age, the real power of Qin was not in his hands. It was in the hands of his mother, Zhao Ji. So who was Zhao Ji? How did a woman from Zhao become the Queen Dowager of Qin? How did her personal life trigger one of the most dangerous political crises of Qin Shi Huang's early reign? And how did the young king Ying Zheng use this crisis to take back power? This is the story of Zhao Ji's rebellion, the scandal that helped create the ruler who would one day become Qin Shi Huang. To understand Zhao Ji's role in history, we need to go back to the year 257 BC. At that time, Qin and Zhao were at war. The Qin army had already dealt a devastating blow to Zhao's military strength, and now Qin launched a fierce attack on Zhao's capital, Handan. For the people of Zhao, this was a desperate battle for survival. The Qin army was not simply trying to win a victory. It wanted to capture the capital and possibly destroy the state of Zhao itself. Inside Handan, there was one man whose life suddenly became extremely dangerous. His name was Yiren. Yiren was a prince of Qin, but he had been sent to Zhao as a political hostage. In the Warring States period, it was common for states to exchange royal hostages as guarantees of peace or alliance, but once war broke out, a hostage could become worthless or worse, a target for revenge. Since Qin was attacking Zhao, the Zhao court decided that Yiren should be killed, but Yiren was not alone. He had a powerful backer, Lu Buwei. Lu Buwei was originally a wealthy merchant, but he was also one of the most daring political investors in Chinese history. He had recognized Yiren's potential and had spent years trying to turn this overlooked Qin prince into a future ruler. When Lu Buwei heard that Zhao planned to kill Yiren, he acted quickly. He used money. According to the story, Lu Buwei spent a large amount of gold to bribe 2 groups of people: the guards watching Yiren's residence and the officials guarding the city gates. And it worked. Lu Buwei helped Yiren escape from Handan and return to Qin. But there was one problem. Yiren escaped. Lu Buwei escaped, but Zhao Ji did not. Zhao Ji was Yiren's wife. Before that, she had been Lu Buwei's concubine. Lu Buwei had given her to Yiren, and she later gave birth to Yiren's son. That son was Yao Zheng, the future Qin Shi Huang. At the time, Zhao Zheng was only about 2 years old. After Yiren escaped, Zhao Ji and her young son were left behind in Zhao. If they were captured, they would almost certainly be killed. So Zhao Ji took her child and went into hiding. 4 years she and her son lived in fear. They hid from the authorities, moved from place to place, and survived under extremely dangerous conditions. This early childhood left a deep mark on Zhao Zheng. The future Qin Shi Huang did not grow up in comfort. His early scene memories were not of imperial glory, but of fear, exile, and survival. Then, in 251 BC, everything changed. The old King Zhao Xiang of Qin finally died. After ruling for decades, Yiren's father, King Shaowan, became the new king of Qin. Yiren changed his name to Zichu and became crown prince. That changed Zhao Ji's position overnight. She was no longer the abandoned wife of a fugitive prince. She was now the wife of Qin's crown prince. Her son Zhao Zheng was no longer just occulted hiding in enemy territory. He was now a legitimate royal heir of Qin. The state of Zhao no longer dared to harm them. Instead, Zhao found Zhao Ji and Zhao Zan, treated them with respect, and sent them back to Qin. By the time Zhao Zheng returned to Qin, he was about 9 years old. He had spent almost his entire childhood in jail, living through years of danger and humiliation. For Zhao Ji, the return to Qin must have felt like the end of a nightmare. Her husband was now crown prince. Her son had a future. Her own life might to have finally turned around. But happiness did not last long. King Zhao Wen of Qin died very soon after, formally taking the throne. Ziqiu then became King Zhuang. Shi Huang of Qin, Zhao Ji became queen. Zhao Zheng became crown prince, but King Zhuang Shi Huang's reign was also short. After only 3 years, he died. And so, at the age of 13, Zhao Zheng became King of Qin. This was the beginning of Ying Zheng's rule, but he was still all killed. That meant the real political authority belonged to his mother, Zhao Ji, now the Queen Dowager, and to the powerful minister Lu Buwei for Zhao Ji. This was both the peak of her status and the beginning of her tragedy. She was now one of the most powerful women in Qin, but she was also still young, probably around 30 years old. Her husband was dead. Her son was too young to rule independently. She could not remarry like an ordinary woman. As Queen Dowager, she was trapped inside the palace and trapped inside her title. She had power, she had wealth, she had status, but she was lonely. And the first man she turned to was Lu Buwei. This was not surprising. Lu Buwei had been connected to her long before she became Queen Dowager. He had once been her lover. He was also now the most powerful minister in Qin at the time. Lu Buwei controlled much of the government. Because Ying Zheng was young, state affairs were handled by Lu Buwei. But important decisions still had to go through the Queen Dowager. So Lu Buwei and Zhao Ji had both personal history and political necessity pulling them together. According to historical accounts, the Chu resumed their relationship, but for Lu Buwei, this was extremely dangerous. He was already at the height of his power. He had turned himself from a merchant into the most influential statesman in Qin. He had supported Yiren, helped him become king, and now served as the chief minister under Yang Zheng. But if Ying Zheng grew up and discovered that Lu Buwei had a secret relationship with his mother, the consequences could be fatal. Lu Buwei understood risk. After all, he had made his fortune as a businessman before becoming a politician. He knew when an investment was becoming too dangerous, so he looked for a way out. But he could not simply reject Zhao Ji. If he angered the Queen Dowager, his political position could collapse. So Lu Buwei came up with a solution. He would find someone to replace him. That man was Lao Ai. Lao Ai was physically strong, bold, and eventually became one of the most infamous figures in Qin history. But there was a problem. How could Lu Buwei send an adult man into the Queen Dowager's private palace without attracting attention? The answer was deception. Lao Ai was disguised as Al-Nach. Through bribery and manipulation, he was presented as if he had been punished and castrated. But in reality, the punishment was faked. To complete the deception, even his beard was removed, so that he would appear more like a real palace Al-Nach. In this way, Lao Ai entered Zhao Ji's palace, and soon he became her favorite there. Relationship went far beyond secrecy. Zhao Ji became pregnant for a Queen Dowager. This was a political disaster. A widow of the former king becoming pregnant inside the palace was not something that could be hidden forever. A pregnancy changes the body. Palace servants would talk. Officials would notice. So Zhao Ji claimed that divination had shown living in Xiangyang was unlucky. She moved away from the capital to Yang, a former Qin capital, where she could live more privately. There she gave birth, not once but twice. Zhao Ji and Lao Ai had two sons together. At this point, the scandal was no longer just about private behavior. It became a political threat. With Zhao Ji's support, Lao Ai's power grew rapidly. He was granted a noble title, Marquis of Qin Shi. He received land, wealth, followers, and influence. Many people began to join his faction because they believed Lao Ai had the Queen Dowager's favor. Before long, Lao Ai was no longer just Apollo's favorite. He became the leader of a powerful political group. His faction grew so strong that it could almost compete with Lu Buwei's faction. This was the dangerous part. Zhao Ji had not simply taken a lover. She had allowed that lover to become a political force, and Lao Ai's ambition continued to grow. According to historical records, Zhao Ji and Lao Ai even had a secret plan. If King Ying Zheng died, one of their own sons would take the throne. This was unforgivable. It threatened not only Ying Zheng personally, but also the succession system of Qin. By the time Ying Zheng reached adulthood, Lao Ai knew that his situation was desperate. In Qin, a ruler officially came of age around 22. After the coming of age ceremony, Ying Zheng would be able to take power back from his mother and rule directly. For Lao Ai, such meant danger. Once Ying Zheng controlled the government, Lao Ai would be exposed, arrested, and executed. So Lao Ai decided to strike first. In 238 BC, King Ying Zheng traveled to Yangzhou, performed his coming of age ceremony. This was the moment when he would officially begin personal rule. But during this critical moment, Lao Ai launched a rebellion. He used forged or stolen seals of the Queen Dowager and the king to mobilize troops. His faction included important officials, even men connected to palace security and the administration of the capital. Lao Ai was not acting alone. He had built aerial power network. But Ying Zheng responded with speed and force. He ordered troops to suppress the rebellion. Fighting broke out in Xiangyang, and several hundred people were killed. The rebellion was crushed quickly. Lao Ai fled. Ying Zheng issued a harsh order. Anyone who captured Lao Ai alive would receive a huge reward. Anyone who killed him would also be rewarded soon. Lao Ai and his key followers were captured. Ying Zheng showed no mercy. Lao Ai was executed by a brutal punishment. His main supporters were killed. His followers were exiled. And then Ying Zheng dealt with the most painful part of the scandal. The two sons born to Zhao Ji and Lao Ai were killed. They were Ying Zheng's half-brothers, sharing the same mother, but they were also potential political threats. As long as they lived, someone could use them as symbols against Ying Zheng, so Ying Zheng eliminated them. This was the first major political crisis of his reign, and his response revealed the kind of ruler he would become. He was decisive, he was ruthless, and he understood that power could not be shared with anyone who threatened the throne. After Lao Ai's death, Zhao Ji herself was punished. Ying Zheng did not execute his mother, but he removed her from power and placed her under confinement in Yang. The Queen Dowager had fallen. The woman who once held the authority of the Qin court was now isolated and powerless. But the story did not end there. Not long after Zhao Ji was confined, many people tried to persuade Ying Zheng to forgive his mother. Ying Zheng was furious. He issued an order. Anyone who dared to speak about the Queen Dowager's case would be executed, and their body would be mutilated, one after another. People still came to plead for Zhao Ji. According to the story, 27 people were killed. Then came the 28th man. His name was Mao Jiao. When Mao Jiao arrived, Ying Zheng warned him that 27 people had already died for this. Mao Jiao replied that there were 28 constellations in the sky, and he had come to complete the number. This was open defiance. Ying Zheng received him while holding as wood, but Mao Zedong did not retreat. He said to the King of Qin, "You killed your false father. You killed your two brothers. You imprisoned your mother. In this, you are even harsher than the tyrants Ji and Zhou. If the world hears that Qin's ruler is inferior, who will come to Qin and help you unify the world?" Then Mao Zedong removed his clothes, unprepared to be executed. But his words struck Ying Zheng exactly where it mattered. Ying Zheng did not fear moral criticism for its own sake. What he feared was anything that could damage Qin's ability to attract talent and conquer the other states if the world believed he was an inferior ruler. Then men of ability might refuse to serve Qin, and without talent, Qin's dream of unifying China could be via king. So Ying Zheng changed his decision. He stepped down, treated Mao Zedong with respect, and appointed him to a high position. Then he allowed Zhao Ji to return, but Zhao Ji's former power was gone. Forever she returned to the palace, but not to influence the joy, luxury, and authority she had once enjoyed. Disappeared. About 10 years later, Zhao Ji died in Xianyang, lonely and unhappy. The joy, luxury, and authority she had once enjoyed disappeared. About 10 years later, Zhao Ji died in Xianyang, lonely and unhappy. Many accounts describe her as immoral, reckless, and responsible for chaos in Qin. And there is truth in the criticism. As Queen Dowager, Zhao Ji held the legal political authority when Ying Zheng was young. She had the power to influence state decisions, but she failed to control her private life. And worse, she allowed a private relationship to become a political faction. That was her greatest mistake. Having Apollo's favorite was one thing. Allowing that favorite to gain land, followers, titles, and control over state affairs was something entirely different. By raising Lao Ai so high, Zhao Ji created a threat to the Qin throne. She did not understand politics deeply enough. She believed that her status as Queen Dowager could protect her and Lao Ai. But power in Qin was not sentimental. Once Ying Zheng took control, he destroyed the entire Lao Ai faction without hesitation. At the same time, Zhao Ji was also a tragic figure. Throughout her life, she was used by others. To Lu Buwei, she was part of a political investment. To Yiren, she was a wife who helped secure his family line. To Lao Ai, she became a ladder to power. To Ying Zheng, she became both amateur and a political problem. She rose from danger and exile to become Queen Dowager of Qin, but she never truly controlled her own fate. She was pulled into the center of power, but she did not have the political skill to survive. There, the rebellion of Lao Ai changed everything. It allowed Ying Zheng to remove his mother as influence. It reawakened at the factions around the throne, and gave the young king his first chance to show Qin what kind of ruler he was. From this moment on, Ying Zheng was no longer just a killed king. He was a ruler who could act decisively, punish ruthlessly, and put the interests of the Qin state above family, emotion, and personal ties. This was the first major step toward the man history would remember as Qin Shi Huang. But Zhao Ji's scandal did not only destroy Lao Ai, it also pulled another powerful man into danger. That man was Lu Buwei. He had brought Zhao Ji into Qin's royal story. He had helped Yiren become king. He had served as the most powerful minister in Qin. But after the Lao Ai rebellion, Lu Buwei's own fate began to collapse. And that is where the next chapter begins.